Thank you all for being here for the meeting of the Town Board of the Town of Carmel this evening, and thank you all at home for watching. Before we get started, we're going to have the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. Would everybody please rise? And Councilman Lombardi, would you lead us?
Sure. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Just ask that we remain standing to remember those men and women who fight for our freedom, especially for Navy SEAL Charles Keating from Arizona, who was viciously killed by ISIS last night in northern Iraq. We pray for him and for all the other servicemen and women around the world.
Thanks, Frank. Okay, for the record, all members of the Town Board are present with us this evening, as is our Deputy Town Clerk, Phyllis Borges, all the way down to my right. Phyllis, thanks for being here. And all the way down to my left is our Carmel Town Attorney, Town Counsel, Greg Fulchetti. In the audience, we have our Town Engineer, Rich Franzetti, and we have John Fulchetti, our Town of Carmel Consulting Engineer. Thanks, guys, for being here. Okay, this is a Town Board voting meeting this evening, and the date is Wednesday, May 4th, 2016, and the time is 7:12 p.m. First item on the agenda is to accept Town Board minutes of April 20th, 2016. I need a motion to accept those.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, so moved by Councilman Lombardi, seconded by Councilman Lupinacci. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, second item on the agenda this evening is a resolution authorizing the purchase of asphalt scarification services for the Town of Carmel Highway Department. Councilman Schneider, would you read number 2?
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, upon the recommendation of Town of Carmel Highway Superintendent Michael Simoni, hereby authorizes the purchase of hot in-place recycling heater scarification of existing asphalt pavement services from Highway Rehabilitation Corp. of Brewster, New York, in accordance with Putnam County bid RFB 54-15 for a period commencing immediately and concluding November 30th, 2016. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Councilman Lombardi. Roll call vote, please.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi?
Aye.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Okay, third resolution this evening is a resolution authorizing the purchase of capital equipment for the Town of Carmel Highway Department. Councilman Lombardi, would you read number 3?
Sure. Resolve the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, upon the recommendation of Town of Carmel Highway Superintendent Michael Simoni, and pursuant to 2016 capital equipment purchase authorization for the Town of Carmel Highway Department, hereby authorizes the purchase of two 2017 Mack Granite GU 712 chassis with dump body and plow equipment in accordance with Onondaga Contract 7823 from Beam Max Sales and Services, East Syracuse, New York, at a cost not to exceed $243,073.23 per unit. And be it further resolved, the Town Supervisor Kenneth Schmidt is hereby authorized to execute any and all documentation reasonably necessary to effectuate the purchase authorized herein on the terms authorized herein. And be it further resolved, the Town Controller Mary Ann Maxwell is hereby authorized to make any and all budget modifications necessary to effectuate the purchase authorized herein. I go for the resolution as read.
Seconded.
Okay, seconded by Councilman Schneider. Roll call vote, please.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi?
Aye.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Thank you.
Playo.
Yep, Playo. Okay, resolution number 4 is a resolution authorizing attendance at a seminar. Councilman Lupinacci, would you read number 4?
Resolved that the Town Board of Town of Carmel hereby authorize Scott McGallen and Christopher Paleo of the Office of Town Assessor to attend the Assessment, Administration, and Data Collection course offered by the State of New York Office of Real Property Services on April 28th, 2016, and May 3rd, 2016, in White Plains, New York. And be it further resolved that the Town Board of Town of Carmel authorizes payment of reasonable and necessary expenses incurred and attached therewithin upon audit. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman McDonough. Roll call vote, please.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi?
Aye.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Thank you.
I'm going
Okay.
to be recusing myself from next item.
Okay, yep. Yeah. Okay, number 5 is a resolution authorizing a refund of application fee for the Town of Carmel Zoning Board of Appeals. Councilwoman McDonough, would you read number 5, please?
Yes, resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby authorizes the refund of the application fee submitted to the Zoning Board of Appeals in the amount of $450 to Jonathan Schneider for tax map number 64.15-37. Or for this resolution is read. Can I second it too?
No, you can't, no, you can't bring it, okay.
Second.
I second it. I second it. I second it. Roll call vote?
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi?
The 45,000.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, under protest. Yes,
Where's the donuts?
we need, he forgot the donuts.
No, I told you you should have tabled it.
Motion carries. 4 yes and 1
But
abstention.
he did promise the donuts. I read it to us from over there. Not even the, like, Krispy Kremes. We don't want, like,
Okay, resolution number 6 is a resolution authorizing circulation of a request for proposals for the purchase and installation of a new telephone system. Councilman Schneider, would you read number 6?
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby authorizes the Assistant to the Town Board, Ann Pasquarello, and the Town of Carmel IT consultant Glenn Sullivan of Sullivan Data to request proposals for the purchase and installation of a new telephone system for Town of Carmel Town Hall, Town of Carmel Police Department, Town of Carmel Highway Department, and Town of Carmel Department of Recreation and Parks. I offer this resolution as read.
Second?
Seconded by Councilman Lupinacci. Roll call vote?
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi?
aye.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. And a big thank you to Ann Pasquarello, my administrative assistant and the town board assistant, for agreeing to take up the chairmanship of the committee for the new telephone system. Thank you, Ann. Okay. Next, she's going to kill me tomorrow. Next, resolution number 7 is a resolution authorizing the mailing of the Lake Cassie Park District newsletter. Councilman Lombardi, would you read 7?
Resolve the Town Board of Town of Carmel act as commissioners of Lake Cassie Park District, hereby authorize the mailing to all properties within the district of the quarterly newsletter prepared by the Lake Cassie District Park Committee at the cost thereof to be charged as a district expense. I offer the resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman McDonough. Roll call vote?
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi?
Aye.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Okay, next resolution, number 8, is a resolution authorizing the mailing of the Lake Secor Park District newsletter. Councilman Lupinacci, would you read number 8, please?
Resolved that the Town Board of Town of Carmel, acting as the Commissioners of the Lake Secor Park District, hereby authorizes the mailing to all properties within the district of the quarterly newsletter prepared by the Lake Secor Park District Committee, and that the cost thereof be charged as a district expense. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman McDonough. Roll call vote, please.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi?
Aye.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Okay, next resolution, number 9, is a resolution setting rates for the 2016 seasonal employees for the Lake Secor Park District. Susie, would you read number 9?
Sure. Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, acting as the Commissioners of the Lake Secor Park District, hereby sets the following rates for lifeguards in 2016. The position head lifeguard, maximum rate per day, maximum rate of pay, $20 an hour. Lifeguard, $14.50 an hour. Lifeguard, 2 years, $12 an hour. And junior lifeguard, $10 an hour. I offer this resolution as read.
Second?
Seconded by Councilman Lupinacci. Roll call vote?
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi?
Aye.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Thank you. Okay, next resolution, number 10, is a resolution accepting a proposal for the credit card processing services for the Town of Carmel Department of Recreation and Parks. Councilman Schneider, would you read 10?
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, upon the recommendation of Director of Recreation and Parks James R. Gilchrist, hereby accepts the proposal of Elevon of Atlanta, Georgia, in conjunction with Tompkins Mahopac Bank, to provide credit card processing services utilizing the Capture Point Community Pass system in accordance with the terms and conditions of the proposal dated April 19, 2016. And be it further resolved that Town Supervisor Kenneth Schmidt is hereby authorized to execute any and all documentation reasonably necessary to effectuate the purchase authorized hereunder on the terms authorized herein. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Councilman Lombardi. Roll call vote?
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi?
Aye.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Okay, next resolution, number 11, is a resolution authorizing the purchase of pavers for the town of Carmel, Camarta Park. Frank, would you read 11?
Resolve the Town Board of Town of Carmel, upon the recommendation of Director of Recreations and Parks, James R. Gilchrist, hereby authorizes the purchase of pavers for Camarta Park for Mapac Building Materials, Mapac, New York, at a cost not to exceed $7,471. And be it further resolved, the Town Supervisor Ken Schmidt is hereby authorized to execute any and all documentation reasonably necessary to effectuate the purchase authorized herein under the terms authorized herein. I offer the resolution as read.
Seconded?
Second?
Was ready?
Okay. Yeah, second. Second for Councilwoman McDonough. Roll call vote?
No, you know.
Actually, Jonathan Schneider.
Yeah. No, I didn't.
Oh, all right,
And then
Councilman Schneider,
Lupinacci.
second.
Never heard Susie say a word, but that's okay. Neither here nor there on this one.
Would you like the roll call vote?
Yes. Thought I heard Susie say. All right, Councilman Schneider, second. Roll call vote?
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi?
Aye.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. And it's worthy to note that the town of Carmel is purchasing the pavers for Camarta Park. These are going around the new building that was just put up there recently that houses the bathrooms, a concession stand, and a maintenance shed. And they're also going to be installing pavers around the pavilion that's at Camarta Park. But it's being done almost entirely by volunteers from the Carmel Sports Association. So I'd like to publicly thank all of the volunteers from the Carmel Sports Association who are going to undertake that project and install the pavers up at Camarta Park. Thank you so much, and we appreciate all you do for the town of Carmel. Thank you. Okay, next resolution, number 12, is a resolution authorizing the purchase of a playset for Lake Secor Park District. Councilman Lombardi, would you read that, please?
No, me. He just did the command.
Okay, I'm sorry. John, would you read number 12?
Resolved that the Town Board of Town of Carmel, acting as commissioners of the Lake Secor Park District, and upon the recommendation of Director of Recreation and Parks, James R. Gilchrist, hereby authorizes the purchase of a play set for the Lake Secor Park District from Best in Backyards, Mahopac, New York, at a cost not to exceed $4,998, and be it further resolved that Town Supervisor Kenneth Schmidt is hereby authorized to execute any and all documentation responsible necessary to officiate, I can't read this, the purchase authorized hereunder and the terms authorized herein, and be it further resolved that Town Comptroller Mary Ann Maxwell is hereby authorized to make any and all budget modifications necessary to effectuate the purchase authorized hereunder. I don't need your stronger glasses, but this font is getting smaller. I offer this resolution as read.
about.
Second.
Said to give him the glass.
Give me the bigger glass. I do need them.
Okay, who seconded that?
I did.
Susie, okay, seconded by Councilwoman McDonough. Roll call vote?
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi?
Aye.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Okay, next resolution, number 13, is a resolution amending the Town of Carmel procurement policy. Susie, would you read 13?
Sure. Now therefore be resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby amends the procurement policy, which is attached hereto and made a part hereof, and designates the Town Comptroller's Office to distribute the policy to all department heads. And be further resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby designates the responsible purchasing agents and titles as set forth within the aforesaid policy. I offer this resolution as read.
Second?
Seconded by Councilman Lupinacci. Roll call vote?
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi?
Aye.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Thank you. Okay, next resolution, number 14, is a resolution amending the standard workday and reporting resolution for Town of Carmel employees. Councilman Schneider, would you read 14?
Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby establishes the following as standard workdays for fire inspector, senior office assistant, health officer, gate guard, and town engineer, and will report the employees to the New York State and local employees retirement system based on the timekeeping system records of their record of activities maintained and submitted by these employees to the town clerk as submitted on the attached standard workday and reporting resolution for employees form, RS 2418 for New York State and local retirement system. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Second for discussion, Kenny?
Yeah, that was for 13. So
Oh,
can we
we have
go?
to go back.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so I'll second
Second
14.
All right, Councilman Lupinacci is going to second 14. Roll call vote, please.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi?
Aye.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Thank you.
We have to ask Greg now.
Okay, Greg? Yes. Got a question for you.
Yes.
On 13, Resolution 13, Councilman Lupinacci brought up a good point. Should we add to the procurement policy the senior rec leader at the Recreation Department, Nina Kalmeyer, to the procurement policy as well? Should she-
Do her duties warrant being added as a purchasing officer?
She does, at the rec meeting, she does.
I don't know.
We'll do it
I
at a
think we
later
should-
date then.
Can we
We'll
do
follow up
it?
with
Yeah.
James
You
and
can
do it at a
amend
later date.
this is an amendment of the policy, and you review it at the end of every year also. So instead of, you pass this,
Yeah.
okay, we're going back, right? We just did 14, okay.
Yeah.
So you certainly can do it. You can do it when you reset the procurement policy. You can do it like we did for Lieutenant Dearman here, just by amending it at a future date.
At a future voting meeting?
Okay, or you
Okay.
can do it now. You can amend the resolution, or you can offer to pass an amended resolution amending the policy to add Lieutenant Dearman and Ms. Kalmeyer, if the majority are in agreement on it.
You know, you know what I'll do? I'll speak with Jimmy Gilchrist tomorrow
I was gonna say.
and Mary Ann Maxwell,
Yeah.
and if they're in agreement, then we could always add it at a later date.
Okay.
Okay, great, thanks. Good point, though. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, John is, yeah. Okay, all right, next resolution, number 15. This is a Secor review in regard to the improvements to be formed in the Long Pond Road Improvement District. John, I'm going to ask John Fulchetti to come up.
This is just a review, and then I'll take you through part 2 of the environmental assessment form. The actual resolution for you to consider will be item 16, if you're inclined.
Okay. All right. Thanks, John.
Thank you. You have in front of you our memo and the backup documentation for the secret resolution we're about to adapt. Just to recap, the town board declared lead agency back in 16 December of 2015. We received Putnam County's 239M approval on 6 January. Comments from the New York City DEP were received on 19 January. They're included in Appendix A in the backup. Comments from the New York State DEC were received on 20 January. They're included in Appendix B. Of note, DEP's comments included a recommendation for a stormwater pollution prevention plan. Subsequently, we received a notice of non-jurisdiction from the DEP waiving the requirement for the SWIP. They also made mention of local wetlands, state wetlands, DEC waived off, and that is included in their comment letter on any jurisdiction wetlands within the area of work. DEP also requested the application for an occupancy permit to place the realigned Highland Road on their property. That application has been made. It is included as Appendix D. DEC mentioned the potential presence of bog turtles there and recommended an analysis for the potential for their presence. That analysis was conducted under United States Fish and Wildlife Service standards based on soils content. That's not an issue, and that is included in Appendix F. And they also recommended an application to the United States Army Corps of Engineers for a Corps permit. That permit has been applied for. We have not heard back from the Corps. Their 45-day review period concludes on the 9th of May. That application is included in Appendix E. Both conditions, or any conditions that are laid out under either the DEP occupancy permit or the Corps of Engineers permit, should they both be issued, will be included in the contract drawings. On the basis of all of that, our recommendation is that we go ahead and declare a negative declaration at this time.
Okay, great. Thank you, John. Thanks for being here for that. Any questions from the board? John Falchetti? Okay. All right, there being none, thank you, John. All right, Greg, do you have
Yeah, I would ask
bring us
the
through the secret neg deck?
Correct. What I'm going to do is ask you to turn to the 6th page of your handout. It looks, I believe it's the 6th page of the engineering consultant's memo dated April 26th, and it's short environmental assessment form, Part 2 impact assessment is the title, and it'll say page 1 of 2 on the bottom.
Keep going.
Cover of the last page.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Got it.
All right, so just, I'm going to take you through the Q&A of the 11 sections there before you consider the next resolution, if I could, all right? So number 1, will the proposed action create a material conflict with an adopted land use plan or zoning regulations?
No.
No.
Will the proposed action result in a change in the use or intensity of use of land?
No,
Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of the existing community?
No.
no,
Will the proposed action have an impact on the environmental characteristics that cause the establishment of a critical environmental area or CEA?
No.
Will the proposed action result in adverse change to the existing level of traffic or affect existing infrastructure for mass transit, biking, or walkway?
no,
Will the proposed action cause an increase in the use of energy and it fails to incorporate reasonably available energy conservation or renewable energy opportunities?
No.
no,
Will the proposed action impact existing public or private water supplies?
no,
Will the proposed action impact existing public or private wastewater treatment utilities?
no,
Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of the important historic, archaeological, architectural, or aesthetic resources?
No.
no,
Will the proposed action result in an adverse change to natural resources, wetlands, water bodies, groundwater, air quality, flora, and fauna?
no,
Will the proposed action result in an increase in the potential for erosion, flooding, or drainage problems?
no,
Will the proposed action create a hazard to environmental resources or human health?
no.
Okay. You've completed Part 2 of the short environmental assessment form. If the board is inclined to make a determination, there's a proposed negative declaration for reading and consideration as item 16.
Okay, great. Thanks, Greg. Okay, all right, Board, we're going to go ahead then with resolution number 16. This is a resolution making a negative determination under the New York State Environmental Quality Review Act, also known as SECRA, in regard to the improvements to be performed on the Long Pond Road Improvement District. Councilman Lombardi, would you read number 16, please?
Whereas the Town Board of the Town of Carmel has reviewed the short form EAF and attachments prepared and submitted by Town Engineer Consultant John E. Falchetti, P.E., in regard to the proposed improvements to be performed and construction in connection with the establishment and physical improvement of the Long Pond Road Improvement District, i.e. the project, and whereas as a result of its review, the Town Board has determined the project is an unlisted action under seeker, and whereas on December 15, 2015, by resolution duly passed at a regularly held meeting of said board, in accordance with the provision of 6 NYCRR Part 617, the Town Board of the Town of Carmel did declare its intention to act as lead agency for the seeker review in its bidding and construction of the capital improvement of this unlisted action in this capacity, and whereas the aforementioned notice of intent to act as lead agency, together with the draft short-form environmental assessment form, was circulated to all involved agencies, and whereas all involved agencies were given opportunity to comment on said declaration, and the Town Board of Town of Carmel and its engineering consultant has reviewed and addressed all comments made by involved agencies in connection with the project, and whereas the Town Board has completed Part 2 of the environmental assessment form and assessed the project impacts and their magnitude on the environment in accordance with seeker regulations and given due consideration thereof. Now, therefore, be resolved, the Town Board of Town of Carmel hereby determines that based on the information contained in the short form EAF and their analysis thereof, the proposed project would not result in any significant adverse environmental impact under seeker regulations, and hereby adopts the negative declaration in regard to the proposed action And be it further resolved, Town Supervisor Kenneth Schmidt is hereby authorized to execute the short form environmental assessment form prepared herein. I offer the resolution as read.
Councilman Lombardi, I just asked if you amended, I believe it was December 16th that the resolution was passed with the intent to act, and I had it printed
So-
as
so
December
amended.
15th.
So amended.
Okay, so offer it, if you want to offer it as amended.
So amended.
Seconded.
Okay, offered by Councilman Lombardi, seconded by Councilman Schneider. Roll call vote, please.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi?
Aye.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Thank you. Okay, that concludes the town board voting meeting agenda for this evening. Is there any members of the audience that would like to come up and comment on the agenda items that we covered this evening? Okay, is there any members of the audience that would like to come up for any town-wide new business that you'd like to address with the town board? Must be a resident, property owner, or taxpayer to comment at this portion of the meeting. Okay, there being none, we're going to go on to town board announcements. Susie, would you like to read this announcement?
Sure. The Town of Carmel Recreation Parks Department is having the 2016 summer camp registration. It's Monday through Friday, March 28th through May 27th, from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Sycamore Park. The office is closed on May 30th for Memorial Day. The camp runs from June 27th through August 5th and is for children going into grades kindergarten through 8th grade. The residents must purchase a 2006 resident ID card if you do not already have one, and it is $6 each for a parent or guardian and campers, and non-residents may register at the non-residential fee. So for more information, please call 845-628-7888 or visit the website www.carmelny.org.
Okay, thanks, Susie.
You're welcome.
And the Battle of the Bands is at the Town of Carmel Recreation and Parks Department. Will be held on Saturday, May 14th, from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Admission will be free with a high school ID. The place of the event is Sycamore Park, the handball court, 790 Long Pond Road in Mahopac. There'll be first, second, and third place prizes supplied by Putnam Music, Radovich and Dean, Drug Crisis in Our Backyard, Backstage Music, Bucci Brothers, Crossroads Deli, Gig at the Freight House Cafe, and many, many more. Bands must pre-register. You must pre-register if you'd like to have a band for the Battle of the Bands. Pre-registration is Monday, April 18th through Friday, April 22nd from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Saturday, April 23rd to 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Registration forms can be found on our website, www.carmelny.org, recreation, under forms on our Facebook page at Carmel Recreation. We will accept a total of 6 bands. I've been told today that 3 bands have registered already, so there's 3 additional bands that can register for the Battle of the Bands. The age of the players must be 15 to 20 years of age. Each will be able to perform for 20 minutes. Bands will be chosen on a first-come, first-served. This will be alcohol and smoke-free event. Proper language and attire will be strictly enforced. For more information, please contact the Parks and Recreation Department at 845-628-7888. All right, one more announcement. This week is the Town of Carmel Cleanup and Compliance Week. It's been ongoing since Monday, May 2nd, and it will run through Sunday, May 8th. We're asking the residents of the Town of Carmel if they could please pitch in this week and help us clean up the community, clean up your town, the streets where you live. There's a lot of litter that has been out on the shoulders of the roadways that we're trying to get cleaned up for the spring and summer months, so we're asking for your help to volunteer to help us do that. Orange garbage bags for your use will be at the Town of Carmel Highway Department. I believe they have litter pickers also, the devices used to pick up the litter, and they have vests, highway safety vests, if you're working along your roadway. If you'd like to, you probably should wear the vest if you're going to be out close to the roadway. Once you fill the orange bags, just leave them on the shoulder of the roadway, tie them up, leave them on the shoulder of the roadway, and the Carmel Highway Department will be picking those orange bags up starting next Monday. So please, everybody, try to pitch in, help out, help us out, help the community out, your community, to clean it up and beautify it during the Cleanup and Compliance Week. In addition to picking up litter along the roadways, the Town of Carmel Building Department and our Codes Enforcement Officer are going to be out all week throughout the community, removing illegal signs that have been placed in the right-of-ways, or any other signs that have been erected without proper permits. They will advise the property owners if they're going to be removing a sign, not the campaign signs or the tag sale signs, but a sign that was placed in front of your business that may not have been placed there legally. They will advise you that you're going to have to go through the permitting process in order to keep that sign on your property. But please, it's worthy that we need to make this announcement to the public that no signs are to be placed in the right-of-way of the streets. You cannot place signs. I've noticed there's been some signs recently that have been put up around the town for the upcoming school board election. They've been placed in the right-of-ways. That is not permitted. You can only place those signs on private property with the permission of the owner of the property, as long as it's outside of the right-of-way. If it's not clear to you where the right-of-way starts or stops, you could call the building department and speak to the building inspector or the codes enforcement officer to clarify that, where the signs may be able to be placed. As a general rule, it's not always the rule, but a general rule, it's behind, if you have a telephone pole, it's behind the telephone pole, is outside of the right-of-way. In other words, the pole into your property, if it's behind that, not in front of it towards the shoulder of the road, but behind it, is generally you're outside of the right-of-way. So if you're not sure, just call the building department and inquire with them. Does the board have anything else to add for the Cleanup and Compliance Week?
No, I do have one more thing. On May 19th, Rich Duffy is having his fundraiser at 6 p.m. at the American Legion. That's the Boy Scout who came that's doing his fundraiser for the Eagle Scout. So they asked me if we would mention it again. So it's 6 p.m., May 19th at the American Legion. And if everyone can come and support Rich Duffy, that would be great.
Great. Thank you, Susie.
You're
Yeah.
welcome.
All right, so that's all we have. We do have executive session this evening. We have 3 items. One is myself is going to be discussing with the town board a personnel contractual matter. Councilman Schneider is discussing with the board a personnel contractual as well. And we have our town engineer, Rich Falchetti, and our consulting engineer, Rich Franzetti and John Falchetti, our consulting engineer, to discuss the engineering consultant personnel matter as well. So we're going to be closing the meeting from executive session. We're not coming back out here, so I need a motion to go into executive session.
So moved.
Second.
So moved by Councilman Lombardi, seconded by Councilman Lupinacci. All those in favor? Aye. Good night, everyone. Be well. We'll see you next week for a town board work session.